She reported him 6 times. 6 times she put her name on a document, described what he did, and handed it to the people whose job was to protect her. 6 times the company looked at her report, looked at him and chose him. The 7th time she had no more reports to file. The 7th time she disappeared. How could a pattern like that go unanswered so many times? Her name was Claire Mercer. She was 34, had worked at Alderton Financial Group for 6 years, and was the kind of employee companies put in brochures, sharp, reliable, the first one in and the last one to leave. She had been promoted twice, earned praise in performance reviews, and believed the company aligned with the values she trusted. Why would someone so careful and conscientious be treated like a problem? His name was David Parrish. He was 47, a senior vice president with a corner office on the 14th floor, a reserved parking space, and framed family photos on his desk. He also had a pattern, a careful, deliberate, years-long pattern of targeting women who worked beneath him, women who needed their jobs and couldn't risk making enemies with the people who held power on that floor. How does power create permission where it should create responsibility? The first report, filed 18 months after Claire started, laid out unwanted physical contact during meetings with dates, locations, and witnesses. HR logged it, interviewed 2 people, and closed the case in 11 days, citing insufficient evidence, and David was not told a complaint existed. Why did the process stop so quickly and leave her exposed? 4 months later, she filed a second report. She documented everything that had happened since the first, added names and times, and handed it over with the expectation that the pattern would be taken seriously. HR investigated for 8 days and called it a workplace misunderstanding, sending David a mild reminder about conduct by email with no required response or accountability. How much weight does a soft email carry when the stakes are someone's safety and livelihood? The third report recorded an evening in the company parking garage when David followed Claire to her car at 7:40 p.m. She'd taken a photo of his vehicle parked beside hers, not where his assigned spot was. HR investigated for 5 days and concluded there was no policy violation confirmed. Between that report and the next, Claire received a promotion. Increased responsibility came with a new reporting line directly to David. How does promotion sometimes place a person closer to the very threat they reported? 3 weeks after the promotion, she filed the 4th report. 6 weeks later, the 5th. The 6th arrived on a Monday with a signed witness statement from a colleague who'd seen an incident in the elevator. HR opened another investigation that lasted 3 days. By Thursday that week, David was promoted to executive vice president in an all-staff email praising him as a cornerstone of the Alderton family. Why would the company promote the man named in repeated complaints? Claire never saw that announcement. She had been escorted out that morning, terminated for a supposed pattern of disruptive behavior and repeated violations of communication protocols. Her termination letter had been prepared the Friday before she filed her 6th report, a fact HR confirmed in discovery 3 years later. Had the decision been made long before the investigation supposedly began? She hired an attorney and filed a civil suit alleging wrongful termination, harassment, retaliation, and suppression of evidence. During discovery, Alderton produced 6 HR files, 1 for each of Claire's complaints, but internal emails revealed 14 complaints over 9 years, including women who signed NDAs and 2 who were terminated under suspicious circumstances. How many more stories were folded away into settlement checks and silence? The emails showed David had been aware of every complaint. Senior HR called the reports noise and prioritized protecting the asset. The lawsuit settled 18 months later for an undisclosed amount. David quietly resigned months after that, and he was later hired as a consultant in another state without criminal charges or professional sanctions. What does justice look like when accountability is replaced by a private exit and a confidentiality clause? Claire gave one interview after the settlement and said she didn't feel like she had won. Winning to her would have meant someone being held accountable. She had a check, a confidentiality clause, and the knowledge that records existed. Evidence she hoped someone would eventually find before another woman suffered the same fate. Would uncovering those records change the system that protected the powerful? She did everything right. She documented everything. She reported everything. She trusted the system to do its job. The system looked at her reports, looked at him, and chose him 6 times. If you think your workplace would be different, this case will make you think again. Subscribe to Case Files TV. Every week, the cases the headlines covered and the ones they were paid to ignore.